artists and happy dot day. We are going to be making dots for our dot day display today, and the first thing you need to do is you need to make a bunch of dots. You can make between 1 and as many dots as you can fit on your page. I'm gonna use this bucket to trace one really big dot, and I'm gonna line it up with the corner as much as I can to trace. All right, and then I'm gonna move that out of the way, and you can see I've got a pretty big dot there. Then I'm gonna take this yogurt cup to make some smaller dots. And if you decide you only want to do one dot, that's fine. If you decide you want to do lots of dots, that's fine. Just make sure that your dot is big enough that you can write your name on the back and draw a little design in it. Let's see, I don't think I can fit another yogurt cup that direction, but if I flip it over, I can get a smaller dot. And I can end up with 4 dots. And if they're not exactly perfect, that's okay. After you trace all your dots on there, then you're gonna get a white oil pastel and you're gonna do some kind of design on your dot with the white oil pastel. Now, it might be kind of hard to see what you're doing when you draw on a white paper with a white oil pastel, and that's okay. There's gonna be a little bit of a residue. I don't know if you can see it on my paper. So you'll be able to see what you're doing. All right, and I really enjoy drawing lines. I might enjoy drawing a cool design. All right, so it's just up to you what you choose to do with your white oil pastel and your dots. If you wanted to write your name really fancy in your white oil pastel, that's okay too. I'm gonna draw a flower in this one. All right, and once I've got oil pastel designs in all of my dots, then I'm gonna cut my dots out. And my big tip for when you're cutting out shapes is to cut them apart first. It just makes life easier if you cut all your shapes apart. And then you can cut out your circles. And if you are doing this, I highly suggest starting with your biggest dot, which I didn't do, because you might decide, man, that was a lot of work and I am kind of tired of this and I want to just cut out one dot. And that's fine if you make that decision. You can just paint your one dot and then that's all you need to do. But I would start with your biggest dot if you're worried that you might get tired of cutting out your dots. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I didn't cut that dot out right there perfectly, and it's okay. Whew, this is getting tiring though. All right, move my trash out of the way. And my last big dot. Now, while you are cutting those out, you might be thinking about what color you want to paint them. You need to pick one color for each dot. Okay, I've got all my dots cut out. Now I need to flip them over and write my name and class code on the back. All right, and that class code is one that I made up because I'm not in a class. And if you're not sure what your class code is, your teacher will absolutely tell you. And both of those sounds that my computer just made are going to freak me out every time I watch this video tomorrow. All right, now I've got all of my dots ready to go, and now I'm gonna paint. All right, so let's scooch these over. All right, I've got my paint, and I've got my water, and I've got my paintbrush. So remember, you're gonna dip your paintbrush in to get it nice and wet. And you're gonna take that paintbrush, which we all know after having our very first lesson with Miss Leatherwood and Miss Lukey, that our paintbrush is a beautiful kitty cat ballerina who dances on its twinkle toes. And we're gonna take that beautiful kitty cat ballerina and we're gonna have it dance on its twinkle toes in the color of our choice. For this one, it's gonna be red. And we're gonna dance it. We're not gonna jam it, we're just gonna dance it. until we can see the color on our paintbrush, and that's how we will know that we have enough. And then we're just gonna paint, and look at that awesome, awesome trick that happens when you paint over oil pastel. The oil pastel just pushes the paint right away so that you can still see it. It is a wonderful magic trick. All right, so that is my red dot. I'm gonna move that, and I'm gonna put it on my cardboard so that it can go on the drying rack. And then I'm gonna wash my paintbrush all the way off. Of course, if I wanted to do all my dots red, I absolutely could, but I don't want to, so I'm gonna go to yellow, and I'm gonna dance my paintbrush in the yellow, and then I'm gonna dance it right over this beautiful dot that I made. And then I'm gonna stick it on my cardboard, and then I'm gonna wash off my paintbrush all the way. And I'm gonna wipe it on the side so it doesn't splatter on anybody. And I'm gonna go to the green, and I'm gonna dance it on the green. And I'm going to reveal my wonderfully spooky dot that I made for that one. It kind of reminds me of the top of a dollar bill, which is why I painted it green. And then I'm gonna clean my paintbrush all the way off, and I'm gonna wipe it on the side so it doesn't get all over everybody else. And I'm gonna dance my paintbrush on the blue, and I'm gonna paint in my very last dot. And that is it for dot day. Once they're on the drying rack, you can clean up your area and you can free draw.